Hey everybody, it's PartyElite. Welcome you back to another episode of our mini-series for the Planet Zoo Aquatic Pack DLC. This is actually the last episode of this mini-series, covering the last two animals, the Dwarf Caiman as well as the Diamondback Terrapin. Of course, one of those requires an enclosure and the other one requires an exhibit, so we're going to try and create a space for both of these animals within the same region. They are geographically located in different zones, different areas. However, from a aesthetic perspective and from a gameplay perspective, we're able to kind of overlap them in terms of the layout over here. Plus, I think it's kind of funny. I always think about animal divisions geographically purely because of our franchise mode Let's Play, whereas in reality, we're not really bound by any rules like that or anything. So I decided to break some of those, quote-unquote personal rules, if you will, for the purposes of this mini sandbox series over here. Just want to mention again, folks, if you've been enjoying this, then please don't hesitate to let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below if you aren't already a subscriber to the channel. And in fact, looking at these stats over the course of this mini-series, I can see that 30% of folks that are watching are actually not subscribed. So if you've enjoyed the entirety of this series and you still haven't subscribed, maybe now's the time to do so. If you've been having a good time hanging out and checking this stuff out, again, we do have the franchise mode Let's Plays that are going on the channel as well. Lots of Planet Zoo content on the channel. Management, sim games, strategy games, that's kind of the MO around these parts. Anyway, the space over here is, honestly, I am really pleased with the end result over here, and it just further, I guess, exemplifies why I like this DLC most. Not only are we going to be playing with these subaquatic plants for the first time in, I think in the entirety of this, in the entirety of this sort of side series, this is the first time we're playing with these subaquatic plants over here. Some of you pointed them out in the previous episode that I should maybe use some of these. I actually used some of them in my franchise mode Let's Play that's going on right now, but I figured why not experiment with them over here as well. And again, this is supposed to be a DLC showcase. That's not just the animals, it's also the mechanics and the other building pieces and stuff as well. So there you go. They look quite nice. They are relevant, obviously geographically speaking, because it's within the enclosure, so I want to make sure the animal's happy about it. So those are specifically the relevant ones for South America and the tropical biome. Actually, I think it's South America and subaquatic biome is how it's categorized. There are actually some new South American tropical plants that we'll be using as well, that I'm really, they're actually, I think they're probably among my favorite pieces of vegetation in the game. So quite a bit of newness explored, even though we're reaching the, kind of final moments of this DLC exploration. It's nice to still be able to find some new elements here and there, which just goes to really show and say, again, just how much work has been put into this DLC, and again, my humble opinion. So what we're doing here is we're building sort of think of it like a, I don't want to call it like a cabin or anything, but the idea is that this is a little, like a small hut, that, maybe a viewing outpost, I guess, if you will, that is on stilts, on water, somewhere along the massive river networks in the region that these, or at least one of these animals, the caiman, can be found in. So that's kind of the play there. No points for guessing which river I'm talking about, potentially. But yeah, I thought it'd be nice to have that kind of a feel or touch to it, and I thought it'd be nice to have like the path going through and to see if the animal would be able to navigate the narrow waters over there. And then also, obviously, we have the rather large lake, if you will, where the animal will almost definitely be able to navigate, and where they'll probably spend most of their time, and that's where I expect the guests will spend most of their time, looking at the animals as well, rather than the bridge. With regards to the barrier, I didn't want to use any kind of like pre-built barriers or anything like that. This is all rocks and terrain differences, just to, again, play with that. I was thinking about it while I was actually doing this time lapse. I was like laughing to myself. Watch, this is the first animal that for some reason is able to like jump 10 feet and just clear these rocks completely. But no, that is not the case. These rocks do the trick. And I also, I'm quite pleased with, like, again, I really like how the rocks meld and merge, but I'm also quite pleased with how they look underwater. And I do talk about this after the time lapse as well, but I feel like the water's been updated. I feel like it's been given a fresh coat of paint or something. Like, look how vibrant and absolutely beautiful all this looks, right? And the subaquatic vegetation as well really brings these underwater views to life. So I'm loving it, and I can't wait to get all the stuff implemented elsewhere. But yeah, you can see now putting down a little bit of vegetation first just to get an idea of like what I might be doing, and then I realize, you know what, let's go ahead and put down the barrier first, because trying to put the barrier down while navigating among leaves and all that would be a horrible time. Let's get the entrance down. We're going to go ahead and do something similar to what we did for the seals, where the staff is able to sneak in from, you know, the massive mountain of rocks at the back there. And then I decide, okay, let's go ahead and get the vegetation in there. Now again, working off of assumptions, working off of guesses. I kind of like, there was a suggestion right at the beginning of this miniseries that I should read about the animal first and then get into it, which I have considered. I've done in the past. I kind of like, and maybe this is me being a fool, but I kind of like trying to guess at the animal based on what I already know or suspect about the animal, and then building accordingly. And the other option, of course, is to actually put the animal in first and then see how it responds to the additions to like vegetation, terrain type, etc., etc., etc. But I don't know. Again, you know, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think, and if there's consensus, then I can obviously adjust my approach. But yeah, this is the new vegetation I was talking about earlier. By the way, the rhubarb. It's absolutely beautiful. And even that looks more detailed than some of the other, you know, vegetation we've had in the past. But anyway, very pleased with how that looks. I wish I could use it more often. And you can see I'm using some surface, like water surface level decorative elements as well. And over here, my plan initially, so okay, it was kind of an evolving plan. Sorry, my plan initially was to have this like exposed glass view, so you could see below you and see the animals going back and forth below you. But eventually, I figure, you know what, the dwarf caiman is small, very small. The likelihood of it traveling through that gap is fairly low. And wouldn't it be cooler if we instead put over there the Diamondback Terrapin? Terrapin. Yes. I was just like, that was my adjustment, and you'll see the results of that afterwards. I'm definitely happy I went with that instead, because there still will be slight gaps from like through which guests will be able to see the caiman swimming underneath, but they're not as big. It's not as much like dedicated space or, you know, wasted space, if you will. But yeah, definitely happy with how that kind of works out, again, post time lapse. Over here, just building a little fence section over here. Thought I'd use the South America DLC's kind of pre-built fencing over here. Didn't want to overcomplicate it and, you know, reinvent the wheel, but I also wanted to see how this would look. Nice to make things, you know, feel a little realistic. I often leave fencing for later. That's one of my, like, things. I often leave fencing for later, but this time around I was like, well, there isn't a later, so let's go ahead and get it all done right now and see how it actually looks. And I'm quite pleased, again, using some other DLC pieces from a different DLC here, but once more, just kind of impressed at all these updated pieces and stuff we've been getting. I think they've done a good job of bringing that fresh newness. I mean, the only thing, it's like when your players are asking for more DLC sooner, I guess it's a good sign that you've done a good job with your DLC, right? Now over here, there was this little gap, so I was like, you know what? Let's just make this gap where a sign would go. Like if we had a name for this enclosure, for this section, we just like build a little signboard over here. It's funny how like when a challenge is thrown my way, I go, well, let's clean it up by making it more than it needs to be. One thing I regret doing over here, actually, now that I look back at it, is I put down those posts to like support the rooftop, but I don't end up putting down like the support beams and whatnot, like, you know, at 45 degree or 30 degree angles or anything to like actually make it feel realistic. I kind of regret that now that I look back at it, but you know, again, something to look out for in the future and in other builds and whatnot. But yeah, you can see how nicely these guys kind of like fit together. A little bit of fiddling, back and forthing, making sure they fit the curve and all that. But yeah, overall pretty pleased with this. I mean, it was a quick turnaround, actually, maybe one of my faster turnarounds for a relatively complete enclosure. So that feels pretty good. But really excited to see how the animal explores the space, and then beyond that, really excited to implement these guys at Elite Zoo South, where they will fit in naturally. We just have to find a space for them and a nice way to integrate their habitat and their enclosure, if you will. But yeah, pretty pleased with this. I hope you all are as well. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts as well on the whole kind of experience of this mini Let's Play, what I focused on, how I focused on it, the things we've seen, the things we've maybe missed out on. Let me know everything. So I can, prepare myself for the next piece of DLC to cover it appropriately. Man, I'm actually really happy with this space. Anyway, folks, as I put more trees down, that's the end of the time-lapse. Back now, after a small adjustment or two over here because there was some blank spots, but back now to regular speed. Alright, folks, we are back from the time-lapse, and I am very excited to see the animal play around in this space. We've tried to do some interesting stuff, tried to explore some things that I previously didn't think to explore, actually, particularly as it pertains to how surface level vegetation gets in the way for some of these things, and how the support structures for paths work or don't work. We also explored some of the subaquatic, oh, that's not looking good, some of these subaquatic plant options as well. I have known that they've been available. Many of you pointed them out in the comments of the previous session as well, and I figured, you know what, why not, for this space in particular that should be a little bit more green perhaps, it would be nice to get some of that in there. But yeah, looking to experiment with some of the mobility, or rather with how mobility is impacted by these variables. But also, pretty, again, it's not over the top, it's not ridiculous, but it is fun to, from time to time, create something that is a bit more humble, I suppose. Very happy with this new type of vegetation as well. The giant rhubarb plant is new with the Aquatic DLC, and I quite like the look of it, as you can probably tell because of how much of it I've put down. But let's not talk any more about that. Let us instead talk about the animal in question today. It is, of course, the I assume that's Cuvier's Dwarf Caiman. I'm not 100%. I'm not 1,000% sure on that first one, but I assume it's Cuvier's Dwarf Caiman. They are also known as the, or I suppose scientifically referred to as Paleosuchus palpebrosus. I don't know why I challenge myself to read this, because I know I'm going to butcher it every time. Population in the wild is unknown, and yet we know that they are of least concern, which is, I guess, reassuring. Cuvier's Dwarf Caiman is a small species of crocodilian that inhabits in the rivers and swamps in the forests of northern South America. That is a sentence. The appearance of this species changes as it matures. Caimans have large, protruding brown, although occasionally yellow eyes. Males are an average of 4.29 feet to 4.95 feet in length, while females are an average of 3.79 feet in length. So they are, yeah, quite bitty. They usually weigh between 13.2 to 15.4 pounds, presumably between both of the sexes. Cuvier's Dwarf Caiman is not endangered and is widespread across its range. It is an environmentally important animal and is known as a keystone species for the role it plays within its habitat. Okay. Caimans help maintain their environment by feeding on a range of fish and insect species. Without Cuvier's Dwarf Caiman, the population balances of their prey would shift and the ecosystem would change. Caimans are often hunted for trophies, to make amulets, or for traditional medicine. Okay, well, I mean, okay, fair enough. So I guess conservation efforts aren't a big concern, but it's just something, it's something like, well, let's be careful, because should their status become troubling or problematic, then the entire ecosystem might collapse in on itself, I suppose. Their natural habitat is this massive tract of land, quite a variety of biomes as well, which is really cool to see. I wonder if this is the animal with the largest number of biomes that they're comfortable living in. And you can see they don't need too much space. They actually don't need deep water requirements, or rather, they don't have deep water requirements either. But if we take a quick peek at the saltwater crocodile, you'll see they don't either, but they do still go underwater. They do still, do deep dives and whatnot. So we're probably going to see similar behavior to the saltwater crocs over here. Right, I mean, I'm sure we've more than covered their needs, so I think we're covered there. Species data over here, group size, excluding juveniles, is 1 to 2. Yeah, I had a feeling it's going to be small. Excluding juveniles, though. In bachelors, it's either, wow, really, they live in complete solitude. Okay. Dominance. Aggression level equals dominance. So I guess violence is the ultimate authority among the Cuvier's dwarf caiman. They are polygynous. They're confident in their relation with humans, but of course, guests cannot enter the habitat. Size is 4.62 feet long on average for males, 3.8 for females. 50-year life expectancy. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised. But okay, cool. Weight 14.3 pounds across the board. Sexual maturity is at 10 years, and then sterility is at death. Number of offspring per mating event is 2 to 7. There we go. That's what'll fill up the space nicely. Gestation is 3 months. Interbirth is 12 months, and reproduction in captivity is very easy. Not just easy, but very, very easy. So that's, yeah, they should be able to fill the space up nicely, I think. I hope. Social needs. None, apparently. In the wild, Cuvier's dwarf caimans usually live alone or in male-female pairs and are occasionally found in small groups. They may be aggressive towards each other if there is competition for space, mates, or food. Reproduction. During the breeding season, males will attempt to attract females with a courtship display involving roaring or grunting and twisting of the neck along with head movements. If a female is receptive to this, the male will approach her. Okay, well, what is the... I'd love to know more details about, like... Okay, is it like the more you can twist your neck, the more impressive you are? Is that like the... Is that the display there? Anyway, if a female is receptive, the male will approach her. When a female is interested in a male, she will mount him in shallow water and twist her tail underneath his. Copulation may last several minutes or several hours. A male and female may mate several times over a few days. Males will likely mate with several females over the breeding season. When the female has mated, she will begin building a nest in which to lay her eggs. The male often assists in nest building. The nest is a mound built from mud, soil, and vegetation. The female will lay between 10 to 25 eggs and bury them in this mound. She will aggressively guard her nest while her eggs are incubating, usually foregoing the opportunity to hunt in the process. Okay, well then where does the food come from? Does the male bring, like, carcasses over and stuff? Or... Well, usually foregoing. So I guess from time to time they also engage in the hunt, I suppose. After an incubation period of 90 days, the eggs will hatch and the female will break open the nest in response to the vocalizations of the young. The female will remain with her young for 2 to 3 weeks after hatching and will then leave. The hatchlings will disperse once the mother leaves. They will remain near the shoreline and feed on insects, mollusks, crustaceans, and small fish. Caimans usually reach sexual maturity between 8 and 15 years old, or when a male reaches 3.63 feet in size and a female reaches 3.3 feet in size. The length of time this takes is dependent on food availability. Hang on a second, what? That's so... Wait, what? That's so weird. That's so wild. Hold on a second. So are you telling me, in a hypothetical situation here, if you could artificially make a male caiman or a female caiman a certain length, they would immediately become like they would immediately hit sexual maturity? Like it's a I understand time, right? Like it takes time for like the body to change and whatnot, and for everything to get up and running, so to speak. But what does size have to do with it? And what happens? Yeah, what happens if, you know, for whatever reason, you're under the expected age? Like, let's say you're 5 years, and you hit 3.63 feet in size as a male. Do you become sexually mature just by virtue of? I have so many questions. I'm either misunderstanding this horribly, or my mind has been blown. That's really cool. I'm curious to know what the connection is there. I'm curious to know how that works. Whole figure. Okay, we've got all their food stuff, obviously. Do they have any special toys? No, unfortunately. And here, though, we do have a variety of food enrichment stuff that the saltwater crocs like, as well as, you know, an aquatic animal as well. Fun fact number 1, the dwarf caiman is the smallest species of crocodilian. Fun fact number 2, some cultures believe that amulets made from dwarf caiman teeth protect against snake bites. Fun fact number 3, Cuvier's dwarf caiman can swim at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. Oh god, it's terrifying. Female caimans, number 4, are extremely protective over their nests and will often forego food Hey, this is cheating. That's not fun fact number 4. I learned that on the previous page. Give me a different fun fact. Fun fact number 5. Caimans are crocodilians, but not crocodiles or alligators. They belong to their own distinct group. Alright, listen. Fun fact number 4 and number 5, you're not very fun because you're just repeating information we got from the other pages. Come on now. Come on now. But alright, pretty interesting. Interspecies enrichment, there is none. So we will be getting the Cuvier's Dwarf Caiman. But beyond that as well, we're also today going to get our Diamondback Terrapin. They look absolutely adorable. So let's go ahead and take a look at them as well. Of course, they don't require an enclosure. They are an exhibit animal, unless I've horribly misunderstood. Yeah, that's what I thought. They are an exhibit animal. So we're going to be adding them to the little gap you saw during the time lapse. I'm sure I mentioned it earlier. But they are actually vulnerable. It is the Melaclemus terrapin. I love when the names just repeat themselves. The northern Diamondback Terrapin is a small species of turtle that lives in the brackish and coastal swamps of the eastern and southern United States of America. Oh, so regionally speaking. Okay, I'm bending the rules a little bit. No, wait, I'm thinking about our franchise zoos. We can do what we want over here. Fair enough. Coastal swamps of the eastern and southern United States of America. It is characterized by its distinctive shell pattern of interlocking diamonds that tend to have concentric light and dark rings within them. Oh, yeah, that's cool. However, pattern and coloration does vary within the species. The average shell length of males is 5.2 inches, whereas the average shell length of the female is 6.8 inches. The northern Diamondback Terrapin is a vulnerable species. Their populations went through a long period of overhunting, which brought them to the brink of extinction by the early 1900s. Increased urban development in the areas in which they live and lay their eggs also negatively affected their numbers. There is now protective legislation for the species in many of the states they inhabit, and their population has somewhat recovered, although continues to be at risk. A current risk for Diamondback terrapins are commercial crab traps, in which terrapins often get caught and drown. Well, that's sad. That's unfortunate. But okay, fair enough. They're vulnerable. The population is unknown, though. Yeah, I should have done some research. Recently, I was starting to question like how this gets determined. Obviously, there's a variety of factors and elements that come into play. But how can we, without knowing the population, know their current status? There's obviously a method about it. There's obviously a system to go about, making these kinds of calls. So I'm just very curious about that. Their natural habitat, as you can see, is like up and down this coast over here. Yes. Yeah, okay, we're good. I was like, how high up are we going? Is that? It's hard to tell with the not precise map. But okay, fair enough. Obviously warm climates and whatnot. That's all good. That'll be easy to do. Group size, excluding juveniles, is 1 to 8. Dominance, none. And mating system is promiscuous. Fair enough. 5.2 inches long for a male, 6.8 for a female. Life expectancy is 35 years. Weight is 11.2 ounces for the male, 25.2 for the female. Age of sexual maturity for males is 2 to 3 years. Females, it's 8 to 10 years. Sterility at death. Number of offspring per mating event is 2 to 4, 3-month gestation, 9-month interbirth, and easy reproduction in captivity. Good, promising. Diamondback terrapins will tolerate other nearby terrapins as long as there is plenty of space and live well together and occasionally interact, although most social behavior occurs during the mating season. Reproduction. During the breeding season, early spring, the female will swim conspicuously on top of the water, waiting for males to approach. I love that description of it, conspicuously. When a male approaches, the female may let him mate immediately, or she may swim away, playing hard to get, I guess. Males may chase females for long distances in an attempt to mate. Females will store sperm from multiple males for many years, and egg fertilization is delayed, so each batch of eggs is likely to come from several fathers. Wow, what? Okay, when the female is ready to lay her eggs, she will climb ashore onto a sandy beach, dig a nest 4 to 8 inches in the sand, and lay her eggs there. She then leaves. The eggs hatch in late summer or early autumn, and the hatchlings are around 2 inches in size when they hatch. Oh boy. Males reach sexual maturity when they grow to 4.4 inches in size, which takes 2 to 3 years. Females reach sexual maturity when they grow to 6.84 inches in size, which takes 8 to 10 years. It's more of the same. It's more of the same, you know, you must be this tall to ride this ride, I suppose, is the way to put it. This is really cool, though, the whole multiple fathers thing, because I guess that's got to be really good for genetic diversity in the in just the propagation of the species, which is obviously very important. So that's pretty cool. Again, just, I'm really liking this DLC beyond like all the obvious reasons for liking this DLC. I'm really liking just the learning I'm taking away from it. So I'm not familiar with the Diamondback Terrapin. I'm also not familiar with the Caiman. These are not animals that I'm super familiar with or anything. So pretty cool stuff. Research status, we've got all their stuff unlocked, obviously. No, they're an exhibit animal, so a little less involved, I suppose. Fun fact number 1, the Diamondback Terrapin is sexually dimorphic. The males are significantly smaller than the females. Again, just as a reminder, sexual dimorphism means that it is very easy to tell the difference between males and females of a species. In this case, the reason being the males are significantly smaller than the females. Fun fact number 2, Diamondback Terrapins live in brackish water, areas where freshwater and seawater mix, but they require visits to freshwater to avoid dehydration. Okay. Fun fact number 3, Diamondback Terrapins have salt glands behind their ear, which allows them to excrete excess salt that they accumulate from living in near marine environments. Oh, okay. Interesting. Fun fact number 4, Diamondback Terrapins were considered a delicacy and almost hunted to extinction for their meat in the 19th century. Man, things that come in a shell, just what, are they just universally delicious? Is that just like a thing? The concentric rings within the plates of the northern Diamondback Terrapin's shell are growth rings that form as the terrapin gets larger. So, kind of like a tree, I guess. Can you count the rings to determine the age of a terrapin? Is that how that works? I don't think so, but it would be kind of funny. Now, I wanted to put them in here in case I didn't mention it during the time lapse. So let's go ahead and build the facilities, build the exhibit element over here. Wonder how nicely it'll tuck in. Yeah, we should be able to connect from all 3 sides over here. No. Come on. Oh, okay. I'll take this as well. Again, guests don't have to like be directly up against it to visit it, obviously, but I'd like to see the connection in some way be what's the word I'm looking for? Symmetrical. This is a 3-way connection. I don't know if I like that so much. Come on now. There we go. I think that's what I want. Initially, I was wondering if it would be nice to leave the bottom over here open, which might work as well. In which case, we'd probably tuck this somewhere else. There's plenty of room. We could definitely place it by the entrance or something. There's other spots as well, but I feel like even just having a glimpse of one of them swimming by would be pretty cool, rather than if they just hang around down over here and you see them always. It kind of removes the cool factor. So yeah, let's go ahead and pop you down over here. Good stuff. We're not doing education boards or anything, so we don't have to worry about that. And let's go ahead and, again, this also makes it feel a bit more like it gives it another reason for people to actually come all the way here and hang out here, rather than just see the animal from up over here, right? I want to actually try and draw them up there. But anyway, let's go ahead and get these animals. Let's go to exhibit trading first. Well, actually, no. Let's go ahead and get the animal first. Let's do it in the order that we looked at them in, right? Animal market. We are looking first for the... Where are you? C for Cuvier's Dwarf Caiman. We want 1 male, 1 female. Let's go ahead and pick you up. And let's go ahead and pick... Oh god, they're both pretty... Let's pick you up, sure. And over to animal storage. Oh, I'm never going to get over the fact that this is a thing now. Bring them in here. And let's, at the same time, go ahead for exhibit trading here. And we want to pick up our Diamondback Terrapin. Pick 2 of them up. Sure, and... Sure, let's do that. Over to our storage. Got both of you in here. There we go. Quite nice, actually. Like a tiny little piece of plot of land, and then you've got this. Maybe we'll spend some time decorating this. I was gonna do like little bamboo decorations, but I thought we could do that in real time while we wait for like babies and stuff like that. Maybe we'll see how things progress. Let's go ahead and unpause, wait for the animals to arrive. And in fact, actually, you know what? While we're waiting for the animals to arrive, why not get this in at that point? Again, I feel like this whole bamboo aesthetic works quite nicely. And again, geographically speaking, There is a bit of a difference, obviously, in terms of South America and North America. Let me know if you can guess what the difference is between South America and North America, but it's okay. Our franchise mode zoos are regionally locked, but over here for the sandbox, we haven't really been giving ourselves that kind of a restriction, so I'm not too fussed about that. I don't mind having this little regional overlap here. There we go. Get you up to over here. I like how this bamboo looks. That. I wonder if I want to add some posts as well. Maybe. Maybe. Look at that guest already coming through over here. Hang on a second. I don't have trash cans yet, and I know exactly the kind of people you are. Bin. I guess I could do more Arctic bins. No, Arctic, I meant aquatic. I read the word Arctic as I was, Look at that. It didn't take them a second. It didn't take them even a split second to start trashing up the place. Look at that. People are coming through, though. That's cool. Very cool. Thought this would be like a nice spot for the sign or something if a sign were to be put up over here. This is looking pretty good as well. Yeah, look at that. I love that this thing exists. I love that we got these pieces. So much time and effort in making these kinds of things, and now we have these a bit more readily available. I was hoping to catch the mating animation there. But yeah, this, yeah, I like this a lot. So pleased. And actually, hang on a second. Is the... Oh, no way. It's like... Oh, hold on a second. I just want to check something here. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's like nicely... Oh, look at that. It's nicely layered. And if you pierce through it, it actually has like the shader works in a way that it actually feels like there's something jutting through. Oh, that's... Oh, I'm going to have so much fun with this in the franchise zoo when we're doing these like... Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, that's... Yes. Oh, I'm so excited. Hold on. Does it have a similar effect up top? If I do, let's say, this kind of a thing. Not so much. But it's okay with a little bit of VFX use. It would look pretty cool. All right, good stuff. And what's the deal over here? Are they already in here? They're not, right? They can't possibly... Oh, there they are. Oh, they're so tiny. Oh, hi there. Hey. Oh my god, they're so cute. I can't even... Alright, I gotta activate the... No, hold on. We were already in the slow camera. Oh, you're so small, buddy. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, come on. Ah, there we go. Look at that coloration. That's absolutely beautiful. Just look at the level of detail on this tiny, tiny little animal. You can see it's like breathing, you know, like look at the neck. It blows my mind. The amount of like effort that has been put into each and every one of these animals, big or small. Just wild. Just wild. Hang on now, where are our little friends over here? Have you arrived as well? Oh, you have already. Okay. Where are you? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Wow, they're small. They're so small. They're they're a lot smaller than I'd expected. As is my tolerance for littering. Stop it. Okay, hang on a second. I gotta check, though. Are you able to... Yeah, good. They're able to swim through everything. Not a problem at all, looks like. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Overall, in terms of their terrain, they would like a little less long grass, a little more short grass, and some more soil. Okay. Too much coverage. That's what I was worried about. I was worried that we'd given them a little bit too much in terms of coverage. But hang on a second. So they want... Should have kept that open. Where'd you go? There you are. Can barely click on them. Okay, so terrain. Let's go ahead and adjust. They want some more soil. You want sand? No, we don't need that much sand. Okay, fair enough. Soil in here. Soil, less long grass. I want more short grass as well, so let's go ahead and do that. Shorten this. There we go. A bit larger. Okay. Still not enough short grass. There we go. Now soil. Where do I want to put down soil? larger here. Put it underneath all these rocks, I suppose we could do that. Yeah, that's probably the best way to go about it. There we go. Good stuff, good stuff. Now, is the coverage actually bothering them? No, it's not. Temperature is a bit of a bother. So this is where things get interesting. See, so this regulator is hitting both of these guys, right? Yeah, definitely. And we're at 10 degrees right now. So hang on a second. What is the... oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't check. You guys happy in here? You are not. Temperature is not okay. They need 28 to 32. Let's go to 30 then. Humidity's okay. Oh, looks like you don't have to click to make it register. Alright, but sorry, yeah, these guys. What is your temperature range here? 11 to 33 degrees. Okay. 11 to 33. So let's go ahead and pop this up to 13. The reason why I'm doing that is because the penguins, if I'm not mistaken, they are okay in that range as well. Negative 20 to 17, yeah. We don't want to go too high. 13 is fair for both animals. We might need some heaters in here as well, though, right? Might need some heaters in here as well. They're so cute. They're so small. They're so tiny. Look at that patterning around the mouth there. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, sorry. Looking for terrain, temperature. Okay, they're happy. I think it was just the water that was throwing them off. Alright, good stuff. Water temps were kind of low. It does look also like they're able to swim underneath and through the supports, right? Look at the habitat. Yeah, they're comfy. Oh, yeah, very comfortable moving through here. Alright, good stuff. Fantastic. Drawing a pretty big crowd as well. There's the pair of them. One of our gray seals is about to mature. Oh my god. Walk on water. Oh, that's my day made. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. These guys are having a good time over here as well, running around, playing, having a field day. Doing okay, buddy? They're doing okay. They were a struggle to get in and make happy, but I'm definitely glad to see everything's working fine. These little babies over here. Just like, what are you even? What are you doing? What are you staring at? Are you trying to clean yourself up? I guess so. Looked like he was like passing out and then realized he was passing out and got back up. Alright, good stuff. I'm really quite pleased with the contents of this DLC. Really quite pleased with all of the construction pieces that have come through. I think I already mentioned, like, the construction pieces are one thing. The animal is a whole other. But even just like the new mechanics and capabilities and options that have come with that. Whether they were free updates or not is a little irrelevant there, because they all came together as a piece. And in my mind, this is... I think I'm comfortable in saying that this is my favorite... I think it's my favorite DLC for Planet Zoo so far. I don't know. What about y'all? Let me know what you think. What do you think about this DLC? Let me know if this was your favorite or if something else was your favorite, and if so, why? Why was your favorite your favorite? I mean, obviously there's preferred animals. You know, if you have a favorite animal, then, like, for example, if the Bengal tiger was kept as a part of a DLC, then that DLC would probably immediately be one of my favorites. You know, just by virtue of the animal that comes with it. So I'm curious. I'm very curious. I don't think I can get over how adorable these guys are. Look at this constant upturned nose. Sorry, the camera is just like, it's just too zippy. Where is your counterpart? There you are. They're so cute. I want to catch them taking a dip, though. I do want to catch them taking a dip. I want to do the same with the caimans. I want to see when they're deep in the water, and I want to see if they're... like, where do they spend more of their time? Seems to be the water. So far. We haven't really had them in for that long, but it seems to be the water. Look at this crowd. I like this space quite a bit. I'm actually, yeah, I'm quite pleased with this space. And it's so, like, it's funny. It's a nice overview of what this DLC kind of has. I mean, if you ask me... Oh, wait, hold on. I don't want to miss this. Are you bowing? Is this the bowing ritual? And now you're gonna bow? Oh, by the way, I want to say thank you and good points to all of you in the comments who were mentioning, like, hey, yeah, you know, a lot of the penguin stuff that I was referencing are relevant for other penguins, and perhaps I should have been clear last session. It's like, yes, there are obviously, you know, many types of penguins, and they all have their own behaviors and things like that. But it's just, yeah. So, but thank you, of course, for not just pointing it out, but pointing out exactly which penguin I might be thinking about with regards to the different behaviors I was touching on, whether it's, you know, finding pebbles or it's the longer shifts, as it were, for incubating the eggs. They are so cute. I just can't, honestly. I mean, come on. How can you look at this and say, well, anything really? I'm speechless. These guys are adorable. Look at this. Look at this little waddle. Look at this. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I know this isn't the penguin episode, folks. I'm gonna look away. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. All right. Oh, sorry. They're just adorable. Many guests think the tickets are underpriced. Well, you know what? That's just the kind of guy I am. Feeding station cannot be reached. Oh, that's fine. This educator is spending a lot of time walking. I mean, that's good for you. It's good for your health. We could, I mean... It's too bad that... well, hold on. Let me try something here. Facilities. Facilities. Education. No, talk. Because it's animal talking point, right? Animal talk point. I was gonna say it's too bad that... Hang on. Oh, exhibits are not fed in talks. Okay, that's what I wanted to check. Water obstructs food throw. Yeah, I don't know. It's like... Can't you put food in the water for the animal to go after? Are there rules against that? I'd be curious to know, like, oh, you know, because the only thing you could throw in the water like that would have to be live, and we don't do live feedings during, well, we don't do live feedings or something like that. I don't know. Gotta be a reason. There's gotta be a reason. Because I would totally expect someone to be able to throw stuff in. Ooh, getting the work over here. Whoa, ho, 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 okay. Oh, okay. A little bit of fight back there. July of year 8. Oh, that's very soon. All right, fantastic. We will be seeing some babies. Beautiful. Couldn't have asked for things to work out better. This is insane. They are crowding the space right up. Now, because they're up over there, people aren't walking all the way through. They're so small. How are you supposed to... Like, this mud bath thing feels like a big enough enclosure for both of them. It's so big. Like, if you zoom right down, right? Now it's like... marching through, like, swampy terrain, and the people off in the distance are giants. That's what it feels like. They're so cool. I want to see how they get into the water. Are you gonna slide? No. He's just kind of like sunbathing. He definitely changed his pose there. Whoops. Definitely changed his pose there. He laid down. He or she. I think this is the male. Continuing your journey. Just gonna kind of like flop into the water, I assume. Yeah, there we go. I feel like they did something to the water, and I mean, again, this might be a placebo effect or something, but I feel like they've changed the water shaders or something, or it's just been a while since I've played with water in the taiga biome. But does it not, I mean, again, does it not look like bluer and like just fresher or something? There's something up, isn't there? Like, it feels different, and it might just be me. I might just be like making stuff up, or maybe it's because of how much vegetation I've got in this space or something, but the water just feels a little bit better. It feels a bit more like reflective and interesting to look at, which the reason why I think it might be a real thing as opposed to a placebo effect is because, you know, it would make sense to improve the visual aspects of water when doing a water-based DLC. Look at that coloration. Just absolutely fantastic. What is that? Oh, weird. You see that? Ghost wiggle. Is it like reflecting? Oh, that's weird. Terrifying. It's like a little apparition over top of it. Alright, where are my babies at? July, right? Almost there. We're almost there. You know what? I should probably schedule just for the sake of having one. So in March, let's say July. Water obstructs food throw is fine. Yeah, this is looking very cool as well. Very pleased with this piece. You know, if you all learned to walk on one side, you wouldn't have this situation. All you gotta do. Learn to walk on one side. This is very cool. Very, very... maybe retroactively one of my most anticipated pieces. Alright, I mean, this is pretty good. Oh, these animals are all... So as what I was getting at earlier is you can kind of see how in this DLC there is so much... there's a fair bit of variety in terms of, you know, style and aesthetic and execution that you can approach with, which is really quite pleasing. I think another thing I like about this DLC so much is that it is very whoa, hello. They're cuddling. They're absolutely cuddling. That is adorable. That's very cute. I think what I like about this DLC's sort of categorization is that it is not restrained by any biome or any location, like geographic location, because it is aquatic. It is kind of a global DLC. Now it isn't global per se. Obviously, it does have its kind of limits as to like whereabouts they go, but it's definitely you know, more varied than for example like the Australia DLC that is Australia only. Now I liked the Australia DLC, don't get me wrong, but it is it's you know it's a bit more finite in how far it can go. Now what's the deal over here actually? Are these guys about to have babies maybe as well? Abigail. Up to nothing yet. Not swimming or anything. Are you surfacing to have babies? Looks like it. I would like also, by the way, to see... There, okay, so it is launching fish right now. Too many things to try and catch at once. Buddy's over there. Just trying to keep an eye on both of them so I can see babies come through, and I can also see if he's making a push for the food. Oh, here we go. You're a baby. You're the same size. You're not a baby. You're the same size. Marcus, what is wrong with you? Why are you so big? They're basically the same size already. Okay, you know what, I was wrong. They're smaller. That is adorable. Look at that. Look at that little scuttle. They are a bit smaller. The proportions are different as well. Come on, buddy. You know you're hungry. You know you want to eat. You're not hungry, but you know you want to eat anyway. Go for it. I love this as well. Oh, look at that. Look at that silhouette. That might be the thumbnail for this session. Yeah, beautiful game. Beautiful game. Decided not to eat, I guess. All right, pretty good. Oh my god. Okay, I was wrong. They look much smaller. They look tiny. But it might just be because like they're just small to begin with. You know, like I wouldn't be surprised if I clicked and this was the adult. Like it wouldn't surprise me at all. Not one bit. Not for a minute. Guys are all having a good time down over here. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, look at that. We didn't see that last time. Oh yeah, it's feeding time. We did not see that last time at all. We saw some deep diving, but not like this. What are you up to, buddy? Spending a long time underwater, actually. Look at that shadow as well. Look at that, like, shape. Whoa. You gonna surface yet? How long are they gonna stay underwater? Wow, okay, alright. Not what I expected. Oh, nope, still no. Dude's just having the time of his life. No. Meant to click on him. No! Aw, man. Aw, man. What happened there? Like, all the way over there that I escaped. Ugh. That was fun while it lasted. It was just, it's the game. Slapping me on the wrist for not paying attention to the animal who I'm supposed to be focusing on this session. Like I said, I like penguins. It was great. I mean, alright, I'm glad we got to see the babies. I wish we could see some oh, hey, there we go. I wish we could see some babies over here as well, but I don't think that's very likely. Even though it is easy. No luck yet. No luck quite yet. Oh, look at that. Again, just fascinating that these guys all have their unique behaviors and everything. I mean, I guess these guys are a little bit on the bigger size, but the fact that, like, even the beetles and stuff have animations and behaviors and all that kind of stuff, just amazing. What are you complaining about something? Oh no, Gray Seal's about to have a slap fight or something? We have a ratio problem here. look at the wobbliness there. Waldo's the alpha, you can stick around. Watkins, oh, weren't you one of the first we got as well? Anabar. The Trade Center. Hopefully that solves that problem. That. Try and get away, buddy. Well, this explains their current status. Yeah, that's a dead end. Turn around. Where's the other guy? Come on. I believe in you. You can turn around. This is hilarious. Come on. Nope. Where is the other guy actually? Oh, there he is. Good camouflage there. Looks kind of like retracted. Hiding. Still trying to get out of here. Was she laughing at him? Okay, no. They're laughing at this guy. Don't tap the glass. Don't tap the glass. That's not nice to the animal. Don't tap the glass. Never tap the glass, by the way. Buddy, are you about to deep dive? No. Alright, I think we've seen just about everything these animals have to offer. There is so much, though. There's so much going on. It's too bad we weren't able to catch any baby terrapins, but I mean, I think this guy's eternal struggle makes up for that. Look at this, he's still going at it. He's still going at it. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little mini-series look at the Aquatic DLC for the Planet Zoo, for Planet Zoo, the game of. Again, if you're interested in picking it up, whether it's the DLC, some other DLC, or the game itself, you can do so at the link I've posted in the description down below. If you buy there, it does support the channel, and that's always something I'm super grateful for. I would love to see your thoughts and opinions shared down below. Give me your feedback, give me your personal feelings about the DLC, about what you've seen in this mini Let's Play. Many of you have expressed ideas about how some of this stuff can communicate in our franchise zoos as well. I am extremely excited to spend more, time, as some of you were well aware, we often spend, you know, several sessions of time lapses building up certain spaces. So I'm really excited to get these guys in there and build them more elaborate spaces. I mean, this stuff we've accomplished a fair bit over the course of this mini series. So I'm really excited to see how we can kind of push it all for the actual franchise mode Let's Play. And folks, on that note, I want to mention as well, again, if you're not already a subscriber on the channel and you would like to keep up with Planet Zoo and other management games and strategy games in general, don't hesitate to subscribe. Well, that's kind of the focus around these parts, so you'll see a lot of that kind of gaming going on over here. And if there are, you know, animals involved, well, then I devolve into a ball of mush. Absolutely excited to watch animals waddle about. So there's that as well. Anyway, folks, that is it for today's session. That is it for this mini-series. Thank you very much for your company. Again, I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave that like, leave that comment. It makes such a big difference in just how I approach things on the channel. It seems the consensus is this is the right way to go about with the DLC when it releases. Oh, look at the security guard. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that high-stakes chase going down right now. What a note to end the day on. Folks, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.